Yes. Now, I want men and what? Women to listen. I want to teach how to solve the cases of spiritual wives. Some men have cases of spiritual wives, and I'm going to tell you how some men that have cases of spiritual wives, how they behave. And it is difficult for them to get married and settle down and have children without any problem. Now, some of these men that have what cases of spiritual wives, if a man has a spiritual wife, that spiritual wife will always be jealous when he sees the man with a girl having a relationship. You know what I mean? Or sees that particular man with what? A woman. If a man has a spiritual wife, you notice that that man will hate women with passion. He is always attacking women. He always finds faults. He's always fond of beating women. Such men are players. They will chike women and they will toast to give you money. You know, those men are humanizers. Once they toast a girl or a woman, tell her that I love you, give you money, they will toast you very well, give you money, knock you, and dump you. They can't knock you more than once. And after that, they'll hate you. They'll be knocking different girls and different women. And they can easily pick offense and beat a girl or a woman. It is not ordinary. It is spiritual. Because spiritual controls the physical. Whenever I say anything about girl or a woman, they are always angry. Because that spiritual wife always make them to hate girls or women. In their dreams, the spiritual wife is knocking them. Sometimes the spiritual wife will come with faces of girls or women they love so much and be making love to them. They'll think it's that girl. No, it's the spiritual wife. Such men that has cases of spiritual wife always find fault from women. Always. Any girl or woman they have problem. They can't even stay a month. If you can even stay 3 months with them as a girl or woman, which means you have tolerated them very well. You have tolerated them. You have to be tolerating in that relationship. You have to endure before you can stay with them. And if a man has a spiritual wife and definitely he marries a girl or a woman, if you don't have love, if you don't have luck, he will always be beating you in that marriage and he will buy you. Because the spiritual wife will always be making him to be angry whenever he sees you. He won't even take you serious. He will be knocking different girls and women, giving them money. He won't even take care of you. And even some of these men that has cases of spiritual wife hardly marry. Even if they marry, they maltreat their wife, beat their wife. If you are not careful, as a girl or woman, you may not come out alive. They are brutal. Once they see girls or women, they hate them with passion. Hate them, they beat them, they insult them. They don't take them serious. So now, if you have a brother that behaves this way, either as a man or woman, and you want to help that person, or a son, you have to do what? Spiritual work, not prayer. I'm telling you, you have to do what? Spiritual work. Because you see, prayer, as the case may be, because I want to tell you the truth, prayer cannot solve this case. Prayer and fasting cannot solve this case. The only thing that will solve it is spiritual work. Total what? Separation from that spiritual wife, or appeasement. Depending. And not all churches can do this. I'm going to call the churches that can do this spiritual work very well. And what? Separate. Now, the first church is the Celestial Church of Christ. That is very good. That can, though not all shepherds or not all shepherds or prophets can do this work. You have to be very careful to select the ones that can do it. Another church is what? The Cherubim and the Seraphim Church, or the Sabbath Church. These are only the churches that can. No other church can do this work for that man to be free. I am telling you the truth. And now, if you get a shepherd that is a prophet or a pastor or a prophet or prophetess that can do this, then they have to pray to God that lives in the third heaven, and also use the power of God Almighty that lives in the third heaven to call that spiritual wife and now ask him, what do you want? And ask her, what do you want? I repeat, that we call the spiritual wife. The shepherd that is a prophet, or what? The pastor, the prophet or prophetess, we do what? Pray and call on God that is in the third heaven, and call the spiritual wife and ask her, what does she want? Whereby she will say everything. The shepherd, the prophet, or anybody will write it down. She will say what she wants. Sometimes she even demands a sacrifice of goats, ram, fowl, as the case may be, and other spiritual materials. Where they will go to where they sell spiritual materials and buy those things. And they'll pray. Call on the name of that man. The man has to be present. The man has to be present. If he's not present, then they'll write his name and picture to make sure that he is free. They'll do the work in either a stream, a river, sea, or ocean, where all those items. Then if something like life, something like goods, either he goat or she goat, depending, or ram or fowl and other things, then we pack all of them and throw it out inside the water as settlement. That is only when this man will be free. I am telling you, no other method. Then, if the spiritual wife is a very wicked one that says no, that she don't want total separation, that it is appeasement, then which means for that man to be free, appeasement will be done every 3 months interval, 6 months, or 1 year, and it must be continued so that he can have peace and marry and have peace with his wife and children. That is the only thing. So if you have question, please drop your question on the comment section. I will reply you. Thank you.